Welcome to A Safe Place with Ellen. Today we're going to talk about teen dating violence and possibly some red flags for us to look for if someone we know may be in that situation. We're talking about teen dating violence because it's Teen Dating Violence Month. What I want to say is that teen dating violence, it mirrors domestic violence. It can be physical, emotional, sexual, psychological. And we've talked about that in the past with domestic violence. They're the same, and we don't talk about how relationships and unhealthy relationships in teens can mirror unhealthy relationships in adults. So as parents out there, it's something we want to look for. We want to look for those red flags, and there are red flags, and we don't want to think about it. We don't want to think that there's this violence between our daughter, our son, and their girlfriend or boyfriend. It's there, and as parents we really need to know and see these signs, because we may be able to help. We may be able to prevent some tragedy or even some long-term effects of dating violence between teens, unhealthy relationships with teens. Some red flags with teenage relationships. What I want to say is that there's not one specific behavior that we're going to talk about. It can be a multitude, many different behaviors. So, when we may see just one thing, and it may just be a fight between, teens, or our teenagers may tell us, this one issue. So keep in mind that it's multiple red flags that you're going to see. And just when you do see those, talk to your teen. As we talked before, there's a similarity between domestic violence and the red flags for teen dating or teen violence. And one of them is excessive jealousy or insecurity. You may see or hear your teens talking, and you'll hear that he's so jealous, he doesn't want me to do anything. Think about that and just keep it in the back of your mind. Possibly a red flag, and it's something I want to keep an eye on. There could be this. You may hear your daughter or son say it's such an invasion of privacy. They want to know everything. They want to know who I'm talking to on the phone, or they may be checking my phone all the time. And if you remember, some of the things that we talked about with domestic violence is they always want to know who you're on the phone with. They always want to know who's calling. That's an invasion of privacy. Now remember, we have teenagers. It's teenagers, and when we talk of quote-unquote invasion of privacy, as a parent, we need to say, wow, how can that be? That another person, another teen, is invading my teen's privacy. Red flag. And it's unexpected bouts of anger or aggression. Your teens may be watching TV, or you may just be seeing them together, and you see one or the other have this anger. It just seems to come out of nowhere. If we think back about domestic violence, that's what happens. It's that rage, and that rage can come as jealousy, as we could come up, and we'll go back to the invasion of privacy thing. It can come up there. They get angry because your teen that you're watching out for, is standing up for the fact that this is my stuff. So it's things to look for. Controlling tendencies, a temper, controlling where they go, who they're with, what time they come back, who they're talking to on the phone. Again, we're mirroring domestic violence issues here, but it's within teens. So red flag, and you'll hear your son or daughter say, she doesn't want me to be around my friends. She's saying that red flag, and parents, uncles, aunts. When you see these things, it's just, keep an eye out. And I'm going to tell you this, that your teens aren't going to come to you because they're going to be embarrassed. Their circle of power and control is just like in domestic violence. There's a honeymoon phase, and the teens, they're all in love and everything is great. So keep in mind, it's like domestic violence, only on a teenage level, which is very, very scary and something we don't talk enough about. Constantly monitoring the whereabouts of your daughter or son. These are some of the same topics we talk about when we talk about domestic violence, and when adults have been in domestic violence situations. And if you know someone who's been in a domestic violence situation, I guarantee that they have said these same things to you and said, oh, this is what he or she has done. So just keep in mind, the whole point of this is to bring teen violence to the forefront, for us as parents to be aware that this can happen to our children, and it could happen from our children. So as a parent, not only do we have to keep our kids safe, but we have to make sure that our children are aware of what they're doing and how it's perceived and what it's doing to someone else. If you feel like that you have family members that are going through this, children, or you want more information, there's going to be a number at the bottom of the screen. So feel free to call that number, ask for the counselor. It'll be me, and we can discuss this. Thank you.